Do I look like a dork or what? Alright, I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna try one of these narrated drone flights for you. Today I'm gonna use my Phantom 4 Pro, but I'm gonna put this ND16 polarizer filter. So it's an ND filter and a polarizer filter on it. It's threaded, and on the 4 Pro this lens cover screws off and I can screw this right on there. It's kind of middle of the day, so it'll be nice to have a polarizing filter so I can use a larger aperture, slower shutter speeds to get some motion blur. Hopefully make the video look less harsh. So let's see. I'm gonna turn this camera around so you can see what I'm doing. So basically this guy just screws right on to the threads that are built into the Phantom 4 Pro. Being careful to not cross thread it. The trick is to do it in reverse first until you hear click, and then you can screw it on all the way. There we go. Alright, that's on there good. It is a little heavier than this regular lens cover. I'm going to put that away so I don't ruin it. Alright, I'm also using this landing pad. This landing pad is made by DJI Tech. Put that right in the middle. And part of this test will be, besides just the narrated flight, and by the way, we're here in this little BLM land called Volcanic Tablelands, just north of Bishop, California. I'm gonna fly with my little parabolic reflector to get better range and video quality on my phone here. Okay, let's get this thing powered up. Actually, I need the cable. Where's my cable? Very disorganized here. Let's see. Here it is. I've got a whole set of these filters actually, so I'm just trying. There's some really dark ones that goes all the way up to ND64, I think. But I'm just gonna use the ND16. I believe that'll do the trick. Turn the remote, RC remote on first. There we go, everything's powered up. Make sure I have full brightness. I do. Go fly. Power on the recording. I'm recording, let's see the setting. f5.6, 60 frames a second shutter. Auto ISO is set at 100. 1080p, 60 frames per second. Recording in true color. White balance is 4500 Kelvin. And let's take off. I am in a warning zone, Class E airspace. So we should be good to go. Take off. Alright, there we go. We're up in the air. Let's see. Let me just give you a little pan around. There's a car driving up the road right now. I'll give you a little look of where we're at. This is called Volcanic Tablelands. north of Bishop, California. You can see there's the Eastern Sierra Mountains over there with snow on the top. Here's looking the other way. If I back up, you'll be able to see where we're camping. That down there is Skylar and Tori's Airstream. And then right next to it is us. We just got here last night up here in Bishop. It was really windy in Lone Pine, so we decided to leave and stopped at Manzanar. They were having their annual Manzanar Pilgrimage, which was really cool. A lot of people were there. The place was packed. Tour buses were there, which is the first time I've ever seen that. It was crazy. But yeah, there were people that actually were interned there at the camp who showed up, and that would have been between 1942 and 1945. So that was a good 70 plus years ago. And the people that were there, that were living in the camp that came, they couldn't have been more than just a few years old when they were there. So I saw a few of them, didn't talk to any of them, but obviously I think there were families of people that also lived there that came to this pilgrimage. So I shot some video. There should be a full video up of our visit there. If not, it'll be up on the channel later. So our campsite here is right by this kind of wall. So there's another level up from where we are. And you can see this road next to us. We're pretty close to the road. And there's good and bad about our current site. We're kind of close to the road, so we see cars driving by. And there's been a surprisingly good amount of cars driving by here. And also, we lose the sun about 2 hours before sunset. So it's not the best for solar. But skies are really clear, it's not windy. We're doing fine with solar. So let me give you a little wider shot of where we're at. Beautiful part of the country right here in Eastern Sierras. It's actually one of our favorite places in all of California. Specifically Bishop. We just love Bishop. We've driven through this town dozens of times back in the day, and when we were in college we used to go to Mammoth to go skiing, snowboarding, and we always just stopped and just ate fast food on the way up to Mammoth. It wasn't until about 4 years ago that we stopped here with our Airstream and camped and really just fell in love with the place. It's close proximity to a lot of amazing nature, and also got the food here. The food here is actually pretty amazing. Alright, so I'm gonna fly all around. Right now I'm facing west, slowly turning towards facing south. Right there, that is facing south, looking at Owens Valley. Now I'm flying over sort of the next level of these volcanic tablelands. It's really cool. There's actually a lot of petroglyphs out here too. Get a little higher in elevation, pan down so you can see us. I can get a visual on the drone as I fly. As you can see, I am 195 feet high and 644 feet away. Let's keep moving, get a good view. Now we're looking at the mountain ranges to the east of us. So right on the other side of that is Nevada. We're pretty close to the border of California, the eastern border of California and Nevada. And now we're starting to pan over. This is northeast direction we're facing. Slowly panning over to face north. Right there, now we're facing dead north, pretty much. Right there, now we're facing dead north. So, let's see. Let's fly down a little bit. drop down in some elevation and do a little flyby. Slowly losing elevation. You can see this wall over here. Actually, I want to pan left and look, because there's some other cool camping spots over here that we looked at. Oh yeah, it looks like I'm right over it. There's a dirt road that takes you right over to the edge of this plateau. A couple places to turn around. And all that. Free camping up to 14 days. I'm getting some kind of strong interference. Don't know what it is. Still facing south, but I'm flying backwards. Where am I in the sky? Other side of the truck. Oh, yep, I'm pretty much almost directly above me now. Okay, let's come back down and lose some elevation. I'm going to do a little point of interest flight. So point of interest is a mode you can basically find the center of a circle. I'll look down so I can kind of get a better idea about where we are. That's our casita. Right there is the landing pad where I took off from. I'm going to mark that as the center, and to do that I go to point of interest mode, which is right here. Okay? Hit apply, and now I can back up. I can gain some elevation. I can also back up. Define my radius. I want it to be about 100 feet up in the air and about maybe 200 feet away. Something like that. Maybe a little bit further. Maybe 300 feet away. Okay, good. And then start. I want to increase my velocity to about, okay, 8.7 miles per hour. So that'll do a full lap around the center of this circle. I'll give it some more elevation. So when it goes behind this rock here, it'll still see us. 2 minutes and 26 seconds to do a full lap all the way around, make one big circle. So this is flying this basically by itself now. I'm not having to give it any input. The only input, I can still give it elevation. I can still fly closer or further away from the middle of the circle. And I can also increase the speed. But what it's doing, it's flying in a circle, always pointing the camera towards the middle. And that's pretty hard to do by hand, so you can see our surroundings, get a better view of what this campsite looks like. I tried to do this flight earlier today, and I tried to do it through the streaming feature within the DJI Go app, and I flew for a good 20 minutes and said it was streaming, but it didn't get uploaded to YouTube. So I need to figure out exactly how that works. But right now I've been flying for about 12 minutes. I'm at 56% battery. We are now facing northwest. And just about facing straight west. The elevation where we're at is about 4,200 feet, something in that neighborhood. And just by looking at where the snow level is right now, we're probably looking at about 7,000 feet for the snow level. And between here, if we leave Bishop going north, we will, as we come through the town of Bishop, to get to where we're at, we're just north of it. You leave Highway 395 and you continue going north, because Highway 395 will curve left, curve west, and you go a little bit and they'll start curving north again, and then that's when the really steep climbing starts to happen. So then you climb up to about, I want to say 7,000-8,000 feet, which is going to be where Mammoth Lakes is. So I think in the town of Mammoth Lakes you're still going to see some snow on the ground, and definitely up at the peak. So the ski resort's still open. We'll be there probably in about a week or so, so we'll see how that goes. Whether or not we're going to go snowboarding, skiing or not is still yet to be determined. Okay, so I'm going to stop this point of interest flight, confirm, and it will just kind of hover and spot. I'm going to do a couple of flybys. Really cool to be able to have this ND filter, so I can shoot this video at a much more preferred camera setting. It is a little bit heavier than the regular lens cap that's on there, so I don't know what kind of long-term effects it has on the motors of the gimbal, but it's not, from what I can tell, if you don't use it all the time, it'll probably be fine. It'll probably be fine anyways, but you know, if you're concerned, yeah, that the weight of the filters is something you want to look out for, because DJI does sell their own ND filters, and I would imagine their ND filters are the same weight as that lens cap that's usually on there. So if you're concerned about the weight, then you can probably buy the official DJI filters. And these filters are from a company called Freewell, and I'll have links of the filters and the landing pad that I'm using down in the description below. Okay, let's do a flyby. Oh, I'm going to show you another mode. Back up a little bit, tilt the camera up. I'll just do a flyby real quick without changing modes. And then I'm going to show you a mode called Course Lock. You guys cruising at 28, 29 miles an hour, which is pretty good for GPS mode. Okay, down there, we walk down there, there's a little petroglyph down there. Okay, so I'm going to turn around. And I'm going to change modes to, what's called Course Lock. So what Course Lock does, whichever direction I'm currently pointed, that's always going to be forward, regardless how the camera or how the drone is turned. So if I hit apply, every time I fly forward, it's going to be going in this direction. So if I want to basically yaw, I can yaw, and it's not going to change the course of this flight. I can do pirouettes while flying the same direction, which is pretty cool, because it'll let me do cool things like a flyby, and then turn and look at the objects that I'm flying by without changing the course of my flight. There you go, so that's Course Lock. Come out of that mode. Let's come back and do a little tripod mode. 36%, 35%, it's gonna give me low battery warning pretty soon. So what tripod mode will do, will take all the controls down to very, very, very small amounts of input. So if I go tripod mode, this is full throttle forward. This is as fast as you can fly in tripod mode. Full throttle sideways. So you imagine you have all this throttle, all this stick control, so you can make really good, precise movements in tripod mode. Really good mode for flying and making precise shots. Also, with the Phantom 4 Pro, you have sensors all the way around, and you can use this mode to fly through narrow spaces. Okay, it's 32%. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna try return to home. See if it'll land on the landing pad. So what I want to do, so it's in return to home mode now. It's going to fly up to the preset elevation, which is 100 feet. It's going home. I'm going to turn the camera down so we can see the landing pad. See how close it can get. Starting to come down. It's turning itself. Yeah, it's not going to be that precise. Doesn't look like it's going to hit the landing pad, so I'm going to kill it. Okay, it's going to stop there. What is it going to do? No, it's going to keep going. I'm going to kill it. And I'm just gonna do a hand catch. There we go. We are home free. All right, I hope you have fun watching that. This is Volcanic Tablelands in Bishop, California. If you like these narrated videos, yeah, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. I can do more of these if you like. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.